This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, welcome to another War and Pieces. Today we're going to do some simple math. What do you get when you put David Thompson and DVG games together? Dan Verzen and David Thompson. Add them together, what do you get? I'll tell you what you get. You get some greatness. And it's every single time that these two guys get together, they put something special together. And today we're going to be talking about their latest collaboration, For What Remains. Now, I have just one of the many different types of this. I have the Streets of Runes, which is going to have two of the four factions. There are two other out there that have the other two factions, so you're going to want to collect all three of these. Believe me, trust me on this one. And how do I know that? Well, we're going to go down to the table. I'm not going to explain all the rules. We're going to talk about it. But this Thursday night, okay? This Thursday night at 8 o'clock, look for it on my channel. It's the Gimpy Gamer versus me at this. Yeah, you got it. For What Remains, Streets of Runes. We're going to do a live playthrough against each other live on SteamYard. We're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you will join us for that. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about this little masterpiece from our good friend, the guy that touches anything and turns to gold, Mr. David Thompson. So let's go down to the table and check. Okay, so normally you will have this, each one of these squares, you're going to have 9 of them out. That's what they usually call for. And you get 12, and they're double-sided, and they're beautiful. You put them underneath some laminate, and I'm telling you, you're off and running, and you don't have to worry about them moving or anything like that. But they're double-sided, so you can make all kinds of different scenarios, and there's a whole bunch of scenarios that come with this game. This is really an amazing game on two folds. When you're playing against another player, it's phenomenal. So what you have here is I have 2 units on one side and 2 units on the other side. And what this is a post-apocalyptic game. Okay, you have the free men, and then for this particular one, you're going to have, and I want to make sure that I say it right, is you have okay, the Combine and the Freemen. Okay, these are the 2 factions that come with this particular set, which is the Streets of Ruin. There are 2 other sets out there that have 2 other different types of factions, and you're going to get more stuff with it, and you're going to be able to do even more with it. They come, of course, with you know, Dan Verzen quality, of course. Excellent sheets, so you can find out what you get and what type of points things are going to cost. And you're going to also get AI control reference sheets. These are going to be very helpful. You could play this solo, and it plays just as smoothly as it does if you play with another person. And you can see that you have reference abilities for the Freemen and AI for the Combine as well as Combine ability sheets. So all these abilities that you're going to find out what they do. It comes with a really great, if you want to do the campaign. And the neat thing about this, it gives you a lot of backstory on how, you know, everybody was experimented on, and, you know, there was a nuclear fight, and, you know, the story's very, very deep and very smart. And you could play any of this solo. You could play the campaign solo, or you could play some one-offs with this, which is really pretty amazing because they both play equally well. Now, I want to show you a couple things here. Okay, for instance, we have this here. This is an elite version of the Inferno. Okay, so you will actually stack some of these up. Now, if you're playing as a human, or the human part of it, you are going to, of course, use you're going to use all these abilities. But if you see, there's a recruit, there's a veteran, and an elite, and these are on the top here are the costs that it's going to be to put them in your army. So kind of like a Warhammer type of game. You add up the points and you say, we're going to play a 20-point game. Well, you're going to decide what you want to take. And if you take an elite, yeah, it's going to have more hit points, but it's also going to have better defense, which you're going to have to try to beat. A range combat, you're going to roll 5 dice. Okay, that's the thing that you can easily get mixed up with a little bit on this, but when you read the rules, it's pretty clear. For close combat, you're going to get 2 dice, no matter what you're doing. Okay, weapon range, how far your weapon can go and how much you can move. Now, you're not going to see as much difference in here as you would for our sniper here. Okay, our sniper, it's going to cost you 7, but you're going to move 8. You're going to have a range of 11. You're going to have a close combat of using 2 dice, where if you were just a recruit, 1. If you are range combat, you would get 3 dice. If you were elite, you get 4. And as you can see, your defense goes up. And you also get different types of abilities as you decide what you want to decide and build your army a certain way. Now, the neat thing is when they get damage. For instance, if you decide to go all out and buy an elite scout, well, you're going to start with, and you can see there's a little E here. So every time an elite gets hit, it's going to get hit, and you can see it gets knocked down. If it gets hit again, well, guess what? It's going to go to veteran. Okay, so then it's only going to have the veteran abilities. If it gets hit again, it's going to take a step down until finally you get to recruit, and then hit again, and then eventually eliminated. Or you may just buy the recruit, and you're going to take a chance, but you're going to get hit. You're going to take another step, and then another step, and you are gone. The funny thing about it is do you want 5 of these or 1 of these? It's an interesting question, and it depends on how you want to build your army. Now, how this all comes about and how turns go is each character, okay, is going to get 3 action tokens, okay? But you can only put 1 token for every person that you have. So you may want to put 2 scouts in, okay, which means you'll get to move and shoot twice, okay? Or move and shoot. Or you can put in 2 scouts or 1 of each. You don't know. You make that hidden so they don't know. And you're going to put it into a little baggie, and you're going to put it in here. The other side is going to do the same thing. Now, the strategy of this whole thing is you are going to pull out, and that person is going to move that particular or do a number of actions with that particular unit. So the scout may go boom, boom, boom. Okay, just move. All right, fine. Also, you're going to have little objective things on here that you may have to get, and there's, armor and fuel and all kinds of different things that depending on your objectives. And the maps are really neat because they're mapped out, so there's water hazards, there's terrain that gets involved that you can't pass through or see through, and it's all lined out here perfectly in the hex, and they're not hexes, but they're actual squares. So now you got to wonder, did he put another scout in there? Or was that all he wanted to do with that scout? And that's where you're going to think about it. So let's say that he went and did both, we pulled out all these tokens, okay? And the sniper, he decided to move the sniper too. Well, now you know that they only have 2 more actions, and they only have 2 more actions. Or maybe if he used the scout twice, you know that, okay, he's only got 1 more action that he could possibly use, because what happens is once you pull these chits out, they go off to the side to the discard pile, and you wait. They have to skip a turn. So you're going to put 2 more tokens into the bag, depending on how many guys you have, maybe even 4 tokens. And then you are going to draw those out. They're going to come here, and then these 2 are going to go into your hidden pile, and then you can pull from these. So you don't know if he's going to try to do everything with this one guy and keep this one guy back, or he's going to try to equally do things. And that's the strategy of each turn, because after you decide, you know, for instance, say you moved the scout twice, you moved and shot with the scout, you use 2 of those actions, your opponent now knows that you only have one more thing that you can do with them, and they may want to capitalize and try to take a shot at taking that guy out, because he's not going to have any retaliation, or he's only going to get 1 shot at retaliation, where you don't know where he might have 2. So there's a whole bunch of strategy at each turn. The strategy changes, okay? And trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do is almost equally as challenging as to what you want to do. And another neat thing is that you can have multiple of the same type of unit. So how do you follow that? Well, that's easy. There's a little symbol in the corner here, and it'll match up with 3 of these discs. So you have a couple of these units that you're actually going to use. So how does the AI work? Well, it's the same type of thing. You're going to take all their tokens and you're going to randomly grab a couple of them, put them into the bag. And then when you pull that particular unit, for instance, the sniper, they have a totally different card. Remember, you're going to use everything from this card, but you're going to use all the like movement and ranges and stuff like that, but all your orders are going to come by rolling a d10. Okay, so how does that work? Well, if you're engaged with another unit, well, you're only going to roll here. If you're injured, if you've taken some damage, you're going to roll here. So you may have a 1 in 5 chance of being able to move to a medic. Other than that, anything else that falls in the line, if you don't roll 1 to 5 to move to the medic, then you're going to come down to your orders. And if you're not engaged or injured, you're going to do your orders. And it's going to give you, you're going to roll a d10. And for instance, we rolled a 6. And here, assault with cover. Move to the closest enemy until within weapon range and in a difficult terrain if possible. RC until defeated. Okay, so that's what that unit's going to do. Okay, so that is what you are going to attempt to do with this particular unit. Now, common sense always goes. You're not going to put them in a situation where they're going to get themselves intentionally hurt. You're going to always do the smart thing for the AI, and that's what's going to make the game very challenging. So a neat little system that really works very well. I've enjoyed working with this and how it works out, and it does a very good job of it. There's also some awesome templates that you get, such as flamethrowers. There's rules for that. Rocket launchers, those are going to move, and that's why they have a space. You're going to fire at a particular square, and then you're going to roll to move it. How do you injure things? Well, it's such a simple thing. A range combat, if we were within range combat of here, we would get 2. It's a range of 5, but we get 2 dice. So we would roll 2 dice. What would we roll against? Well, we would roll against, let's just say that they were recruits. We would have to roll a 6 or higher to defeat that, to catch them. We rolled an 8, so he's going to take at least 1 step. Boom. Okay, and there's times that you can knock that guy right out if you're lucky enough, if you have enough power. But as they use bigger units, their defense gets higher, their health gets higher, but their cost gets higher, so you can get fewer units. So you have to pick wisely when picking your units. Now, this is a brief overview, but I really suggest you check out when Gimpy and I play this on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We're really looking forward to it. We're going to play it live for you guys so you get a good sense, and we're going to be answering all types of questions. There's a ton of stuff out there for it, like you can get all the different colored dice for it, and it also comes with you can pick up 9 additional double-sided terrain tiles and a whole bunch of clear, as you know, like I just showed you, the rocket launcher and everything like that. You're going to get some transparent ability templates, which are going to be very helpful to you, so you can see who's underneath and just really, really, really cool all in all. That's all I can tell you. I really think this is really something special, and I have to get my hands on those 2 other boxes. I have to, because I want all the factions from this, because this is just another masterpiece from our good friend David Thompson. Let's go up top. Like I said, you'll see more in our live playthrough, and we will explain it all the way through. I wanted to give you a nice overview to get you psyched up, so you'll join us Thursday night. But let's go get my final thoughts on this little masterpiece for what remains. Post-apocalyptic destruction. Love it. Love it. Now, some people may get kind of tired of this, but the thing that really makes this different is how the different factions work. And then, you know, what seems like a typical war game in a way has some really nice twist to it. By hiding which ones that you're going to put into the coffer there, or the bag. And you know, you're only going to put in as many tokens as people that you have on the board, but they could be all of one person. So you have to kind of plan and adjust in a way. But also, on the other side of the coin is that once that guy moves, if he decides to put 3 of his tokens in for one particular unit, and you make a mental note of that, you know that he can't move them the next turn. So you could kind of adjust. There's constant adjustment. There's constant strategy. There's constant unknown. The AI is another thing that is just absolutely fantastic with it, and making smart decisions. By them giving you the basis of just rolling, you exactly have 3 different things that you can do. You roll, and then, okay, that kind of makes sense. You can make a couple adjustments if you have to. It's common sense to be fair against it. I like everything about this game. I love, even when you play it solo, what it offers you. Okay, I had a chance, thanks to Nate at the Gimpy Gamer, who sent me the demo copy of it when he was done with it, and I went through it and I went, this is fantastic. So when this showed up on my doorstep, I could not wait, and I immediately called Nate and I said, Nate, we got to check this out, and why don't we do it live this Thursday night at 8 o'clock? And he said, what else do I got to do except put the kids to bed and do the 1,500 other videos that I have to do? Because the guy he's always working. What can I tell you? But this is something special. And when David Thompson is involved, it has that complexity, yet there's something simple about it, yet there's something very, very, very strategic about it. You know, you look at the other games, Castle Itter and Pavlov's House, there's a level of strategy, but there's this level of simplicity that is beautiful and just does this wonderful thing. And I really highly suggest you check this out. Go to DVG Games. You are not going to be disappointed. And Sarah would be more happy to answer any questions you have. Just get a hold of her over at DVG Games. They do a phenomenal job. It's always great quality components. Everything's to the T. The rule book is easy to follow. Perfect examples. Another masterpiece from a fantastic designer and a great company. You put those 2 together, you're going to get something special every single time. Go check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. And if you're still not sure about it, check our live playthrough tomorrow evening. Until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying...